Welcome back, guys, to a brand new video. Now, when I tell you I have been so excited to make this video, I can't even explain it to you guys. Like, I've been wanting to do it ever since the community crunch came open, but obviously I've not been well. But I'm on a 4 to 6 week recovery, guys, so hopefully this means that over time I'll just keep getting better, and also that will mean that especially by December time, you know, that's my main priority in my head. I'm just like, by December, Christmas time, we've got Lost Colony, so much going on. I want to be fully back to normal, but we're gonna keep going. And thank you, by the way, for all of the lovely, kind messages. Now, today, guys, it's such a throwback. When was the last community creature submission? Wasn't it back? It was, I don't even know how long it was. It was so long ago. And obviously the Mega Raptor, you know, was one that came with Valguero. But we are now doing the Genesis Part 1, and the voting has been opened, and it does close on the 24th, so 10 days time. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe, it really supports me, and let's get in with the video. Also, if you are looking somewhere to play ARK, you know I mention it in pretty much most of my videos, but, you know, if you want to come somewhere to play Valguero, and Ragnarok, and everything like that, and Lost Colony coming next, the link to my Discord, to the LoadedCrysis clusters down below if you want to come and join us. And, of course, Genesis Part 1 will come in the future too. And also, another thing to mention is there are 9 codes left of the Loaded Valguero code, which gets you 10% off your Nitrado server. The link is down below to Nitrado, and Loaded Valguero most likely will be have run out by tonight. So if you try and use the code, it's Loaded Valguero, all one word, you'll see it down below, and it doesn't work. That means the final 9 have gone. But again, thank you to Nitrado for giving me 50 codes to be able to give away to you guys. Right, so I'm sure you already know what this is and how it works, but there's obviously going to be some of you out there that have never seen a community creature submission. And the next community creature submission will take place in the simulated biome of Genesis Part 1, from the crushing depths of the ocean trenches and the volcanic hellscapes to the desolate lunar surfaces and treacherous bogs. This unique map offers an unparalleled variety of habitat for your real-world prehistoric creature to call home. Now, yes, I have seen your feedback, and a lot of you guys have said in yesterday's video that you were very shocked that with Genesis Part 1, the creature has to be real world. And to be honest, I prefer it being real world. I kind of understand why, you know, because the Genesis is a simulation, and I understand, you know, where people are coming from. But I think the reason Studio Wildcard have decided to do real world dinos is because a lot of people were complaining that ARK was a dinosaur game, and you know, and it kind of went so fantasy to the point it was crazy. And I think even though Wildcards know that ARK isn't just a dinosaur game, I think they wanted to give back to the players to be like, right, we want some real world dinos back in here. And I think that's what they've kept to with the community creature submission, to keep it, you know, old school, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, real life creatures. But I do understand people's point when they say, you know, this is the simulation. So as I said, on the 24th of October, there'll be no more of the voting, the entry period. The voting will begin immediately after, and then it will end on the 4th of November at 1 PM Pacific. The winner will be announced in the crunch on November 7th. Please note that this creature will be for Genesis Part 1, so make sure your real-world submissions are themed and suited to the diverse environment of Genesis. So if you are going to create your own creature, it's 1 creature per thread. If you see your creature already, you can just add to that other thread, and that still means that you'll be part of it. Like, even if you feel like, oh, someone's posted my creature, I really wanted to post it, and you know, you can still add to it, and Wildcard will still take your opinions and stuff on board. They take the whole thread on board, and it says it must be real world. Developers, any developers are disqualified from posting their own ideas. They really want wiki links, images and art, and that kind of thing. But now we must go through and read and check out some of the top 10 over this next 10 days. As I always do, we will be checking some out. They may have 1 vote, they may have 20 votes, they may have 400 votes. really what we'd like to do is just pick at random what sounds cool and what I really feel like someone's put a lot of time and effort into. And again, I don't ever say go and vote for this, go and vote for that. I want it to be as fair as possible. It's never up to me what wins the vote, but I always like to at least check out some. I mentioned, and this story never leaves me, I had a father and daughter. The father emailed me and basically said, Dom, me and my daughter, we watch your videos, and if you're still watching this now to this day, just remember I've never forgotten this. And he said, this is our creature. We haven't got very many votes, but we really love it. And we, we just, even if you were just to review it, it would mean the world. And those kind of things are just lovely, and I just love this, how families, whole families watch my videos and sit there, and I'm just like, hello guys, I thank you so much for the support, and it's lovely things like that I get to do and check out your creatures, because I know how exciting it must feel when you get your own creature added into the game. The top 10 creatures will be selected from the 10 most upvoted creatures for a second round of voting using ranked vote. Right, so here we are, and I don't know what it is, it just gives me such a warm feeling. Like, ARK has always given me such a warm feeling over the years doing content on it. It's just been my game that I love, and whenever these votes have come around, I have just been so excited going through them all. So we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Now, these votes are subject to change. This is only the top 10. As you can see, there's like 5 votes between, or 5, whatever, that's not 5, but you guys know what I mean. Well, that is 5 votes, isn't it, between? And some are, literally, it's so close at the moment. The only one that seems to be very far ahead with about 90 votes more is this one here. So we're going to go through the current top 10. Over the next 10 days, I'll be checking loads of them out, seeing how they're doing. So, yeah, we're going to get in with the first one and to find out why this has 274 votes to come to Genesis. And wow, that dossier is incredible. What in the world? Who made that? Dossier done above was from Sav. Sav, if I'm correct, Sav's been someone around in the community for a long time, right? I feel like I'd love to get in contact with these people so much more, because I have obviously my own community in the LoadedCrysis cluster, and I do try and join many other communities as well to get in contact with people and talk to people, and just want to thank them for their amazing work, because this is amazing, and this is the Paleo Octopus. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Big shout out. This dossier, is this better than wildcards? Now, in this video, we're not going to be going through absolutely all the details about these creatures. The only reason why is because this video will be about 5 hours long. If you do want me to do that in the future, I can do that for a video. But this is basically just to get an idea of the top 10 creatures at this moment in time. And then when we have that kind of idea about these creatures, then I will feature them in like solo videos, because these posts don't deserve just to be skipped past and everything like that. They need a whole dedicated time and video to, because you can see here the amount of work that goes into it, and it's blowing my mind, and everyone adds so much to it, and it's just incredible. I mean, as well, even this here in the artwork here is like, they've even gone ahead and created their own design of it being in Genesis and the HLNA speaking, which has blown my mind. I mean, volatile branch. I mean, that's just, I've been playing a bit of Dying Light recently. Anyway, what we do is we just go through, we introduce it. So introducing the Paleo Octopus. You may recognize him from Aberration, as I also submitted that version. I don't actually recognize that from Aberration. I don't. But, I do love OG ones coming back. This large megalithinium-sized, it's a land octopus found in the bog and rarely the ocean of Genesis. A curious and crafty creature, the unique properties of the ink allow it to make special potions that aid you in all 5 of the Genesis biomes. Very clever against the elements for any foe. For example, do you want to get rid of a horde of direwolves? Throw down a space brew potion and make a mini black hole to trap them all in one place. I mean, this is very, very, very intelligent. I feel like this one deserves its own video because I would love to read through everything of this. Right, so in second, we have the Abyssosaurus. I like the name. The Memorizing Deep Sea King. Again, another fantastic dossier created here. And I wonder who did the art. All art by Risky Biscuits. Risky Biscuits, we know who you are. I've literally, Risky Biscuits, you've been around for so long. I've never even seen you on Twitter before. I've never seen you on anything before, but I always see you in the community creature votes, and I love seeing these people that have been around in the community and love the game so much. And the dossier was created by Hybrid themselves, so congratulations for that. But first discovered in Russia in 1992, the Abyssosaurus wouldn't get his name until 2011 by Alexander. So instead, more of carnivorous theropods. On land, let's give the oceans more love. Bring a new scuba gear to make the ocean exploring more accessible and other interesting stuff for everyone. So thank you for your time, and on to the main event. So let's read through the wild and domesticated for this. So during a deep sea expedition, I saw that what I can only explain as a SOS light pattern. But before I could do anything with my body started moving towards it. I was trapped in my body. All light around me had disappeared, leaving my eyes helplessly staring into the darkness. And something was staring right back. The Abyssosaurus with its mouth open, waiting to take a chunk out of me when close enough. Finally managing to snap out of the trance, gave me enough time to quickly swim away, looking back just to see the creature lurk back in the darkness before completely disappearing. Domesticated, taming an Abyssosaurus is tricky due to the extreme danger they pose, plus their body is very dense and hard to penetrate due to the constant pressure of living in the deep. Make sure, so sorry, there needs to be a comma there. Make sure to have plenty of plankton and some flashbangs, and having an Abyssosaurus on your side makes ocean travel a breeze. With its incredible speed and abilities, nothing stands a chance. After some thinking, could there have been something bigger, deeper beneath the waves, waiting for some poor expecting survivor to get close? Very interesting. Right, so in third, we have the Romaleosaurus. The tidal torpedo. So everyone is really going for ocean creatures, and I like this. This is new. We've just had the Megaraptor. We've just had the Elder Claw. I'm liking this, guys. This is real creativity. The Genesis 1 ocean biome sure is beautiful, isn't it? It's a shame the oceans are so neglected in vanilla ARK, with most of the creatures in them being hyper-aggressive bite spammers. So let's give it a little boost, shall we? I agree with this. Now, I know the reason, my personal opinion on why the ocean doesn't get that much love when it comes to creature votes. People like the idea of ocean creatures in ARK and new ones, but when there's a big scary carnivore, you know, that can rival with a Giga, it's always like, why not? We want something big and ferocious. But what I have noticed over time is because we've had so many now, people are getting a bit like, the ocean needs love. It does. We want the ocean to feel like it's Subnautica, you know, like, and I haven't even played that much Subnautica, but I've watched a lot of YouTubers play it, and I feel like we need the fear factor in the ocean in ARK. It used to be there back in the day, but it needs to come back, and this is the tidal torpedo, and this is the dossier for it. So we're just going to read through the wild and domesticated. I want to be able to give at least a fair chance and just some vague information over everyone's creatures. So in the wild, there is no animal more specialized for the oceans than the Romaleosaurus. Being playful and inquisitive in nature, the Romaleosaurus or the Romaleus are generally friendly to anything smaller than themselves. So unless you're a small fish, these reptiles will be neutral to you. And interestingly, the Romaleus will also utilize the abundant whirlpools to their advantage. These reptiles seem to enjoy riding the currents of whirlpools and launching themselves out at high speed. They can create temporal whirlpools to oh wow! So basically, they can make a whirlpool to basically get their prey and predators stuck in, and then they can go in for the attack. When domesticated, to gain the trust of a Romeleo, one must first spoil it with its finest meat, with the finest meat, and then proceed to hitch a ride on its back. Only if the Romeleo deems you fit will it allow you to continue riding it. When tamed, the Romeleo packs serve as devastating offensive mounts should with the conditions suit. With the conditions suit them, it seems that the adrenaline rush from riding in a whirlpool allows the Romeleo to... Okay, so it's a similar taming mechanism to the Helicopterion in the sense of, like, there'd have to be a way of making that little bit different. But again, I really like this one, and I'm sure there's some great ideas being added into it. The Tidal Torpedo, very cool. In fourth, we have the Irritator, your taming companion and torpor enabler of choice. So this is not an underwater creature, but this is the Irritator. Very cool dossier again. So let's get into it. So wild, the Irritator seems to have adapted very well to many environments with enough humidity. So far, it has been spotted in all parts of the bog, the black lakes of the volcano, the underwater cubes deep in the ocean, and even some lunar caves. Being quite small in a world of giants and preferring to be left alone to its fishing, the Irritator generally won't attack unless you get too close. Despite the abundance of much bigger and dangerous threats, none dare to approach the Irritator. This is due to a special mucus covering its entire body, causing the skin irritation and weakening of the immune system to hit anyone. Anyway. Domesticated. Once tamed, the Irritator becomes a very valuable asset, serving as both as an excellent travelling mount and taming companion. Armed with its mucus, even the sturdiest of foes will eventually succumb to torpor. Irritator can open its jaw wide enough to swallow larger fish whole, giving it a regenerative boost. Very, very cool. And this is like a little bit, it's slightly larger than a raptor, well, quite a lot larger than a raptor. Around the same size as a Baryonyx, but a lot smaller than a Spino. Very cool. Right in fifth, we have the Atopodentatus or Tatus? The Atopodentatus, I'm going for. The art again by Risky Biscuits. The Risky Biscuits is like the absolute like legend of this. As mentioned earlier, Sea Strider to Space Savior, all-terrain healer and buffer. So I can't see the image of this one, and I always notice this sometimes happens, and even when you click on it, it doesn't work. So I feel like I still feel like I want to go back to them, because sometimes I go back to them and they work, and even if I refresh this, I still don't think it works. No, still doesn't work. But first discovered in China in 2014. It dates to the early / mid I can never say not Jurassic, the other one. Why can I never say it? It shared the waves with animals like the Itchy, Shastasaurus, the Kulk, the Ammonite, the Nothrosaurus, and more. Meanwhile on land, it well adapted to contending with a variety of early theropods, sauropods, and tyrannosaurs. So yeah, I mean, where's the wild and where's the... I feel really sad because, one, I've messed up loads of information about this, but two, I can't see any photos, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to give it the love that it actually deserves because I can't see it. So maybe we're going to have to come back to this one just because I want to be able to actually make it... I don't want anyone to think this isn't a good one. So I definitely think, don't make your mind up on when you see this straight away. Like, you know, there's a reason it's got 160 votes. And it's an all-terrain healer and buffer. But I want to be able to make sure that I can actually give it some love there. We're going to move over to the giant lobster. Now, if I'm correct, this giant lobster was around before in a voting. The semi-aquatic all-terrain healer. So another all-terrain healer. Risky Biscuits, of course, involved in this. And they said, just when I thought ARK's oceans weren't terrifying enough, or were terrifying enough, I came across this oversized lobster I'm calling Pemphix Gigantastation or Gigantstation. The giant creature has two unique claws, one for grabbing its prey and a much sharper one for stabbing. When it isn't walking along the ocean floor, it can be seen occasionally hiding in the sands of beaches with only their antenna sticking out. Survivors must not approach a buried lobster unless they plan to tame one. and domesticated. If you manage to tame this giant lobster, you'll find that this megalodon-sized lobster has some incredible utility both inside and outside of combat. The giant lobster acts as your underwater Daedon and able to heal allies both on land and water. It can even latch itself onto ally creatures, healing at a much faster rate and making its ally invulnerable to damage. It also has incredible mobility, being able to walk on the ocean floor, swim and walk on land, and even climb surfaces with the help of its powerful claws. This sounds very, very cool. I mean, and I love the, absolutely love the TF2 references here as well. I love when people add things in. Look at that lobster meat. Look, that looks tasty. But yeah, really nice idea, I have to say. Oh, okay. So we have got another 4 more to go, and we have Saviodus the Man-Eater. Now, did anyone play Man-Eater? I think it was 2021. I was obsessed with Man-Eater in 2021. It was actually when Genesis Part 2 was launching, and while I was waiting for Genesis Part 2 to launch and make videos for you guys, I was playing Man-Eater all the time, and I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed, and I don't think I've played it since, but it was amazing. So we'll read through this now. So in the wild, the Saviodus is a remarkable species patrolling the Ark's oceans, always looking for its next meal. It is adapted to the harsh biodiversity by adopting an opportunistic feeding routine, lunging toward prey, brutally miming them with its incredible jaws aligned with natural razors. Much like the mainland's hyenodon, this large shark seeks out weakened prey rather than wasting energy hunting it down. Despite the ocean's hostility, the spines seem to deter even the boldest of hunters. Interestingly, its messy eating and habits and spines shelter schools of fish, forming a symbiotic bond with flying fish. The schools of fish keep the saviors healthy and assist in hunting, while gaining food and shelter in return. Shockingly, it is not aggressive until provoked or has deemed you a quick and easy food source. When domesticated, many coastal tribes have sought to instigate a feeding frenzy in hope of befriending this hungry fish. It is sought after for its hunting habits and feeding frenzies, directing the sheltered schools of fish to aid allies of debilitating foes. Massive jaws lined with rows of natural razors allow it to tear into its prey, violently thrashing its head, tainting the water with the victim's blood expelled from the elegant gills. These bloodbaths increase the aggression of not only the Saviodus, but all aquatic life. I can't speak. Basically, this thing is unreal, and I love sharks. I have been a massive fan of sharks my entire life. Yeah, I really like the look of it, and it's art by Chore Wizard. And yeah, very, very cool. This was from Sappy Daisy. So now we have the last 3, and it looks like a lot of this. This looks very unique. This is very, very unique. What's this one? The Krinoid. The Krinoid, the biblically accurate angel. Everyone's favorite quantum levitating creature. Wow. This seems very clever. It reminds me similar of the Bloodstalker. Gives me that sort of vibe here. But this is my entry creature of the creature's mission for Genesis Part 1. Hope you guys and girls like my take. So this is a Krinoid, an ancient creature that lurked deep within the oceans of the Jurassic. Bizarrely, this ancient starfish evolved to climb out of the ocean and into the vast expanse of space. Wow. Is this real? What? How did I not know about this? How in the world have I never heard about this? This is a really cool idea, and I'm not saying that this is my favourite, but it's very smart. And if this is a real world creature, what in the world? That's so interesting. Now, I remember this one from last time. It did very well in the votes, and it's doing well again. In 9th place, we have the giant stick bug, the living tree. in the wild. Okay, so this is kind of like a copy from the last one, because I'm going to remember this was very cool. It's got the same dossier, and a lot of people did like the idea of this. As I wandered through the forest, I got the impression that some logs were moving. Although I had checked around, I didn't notice anything that strange except for a log without leaves. As I approached these logs, I picked up what appeared to be bark, but was actually wood chitin. From there, I realized that it was a giant stick bug. Its gigantic size has not prevented it from perfecting its camouflage so much that it has managed to become virtually What is happening to me? Since I've been ill, I generally think my brain has just... I'm... What in the world? It's just not going to happen. From a tree to enemy prying eyes, even with the aid of a spyglass. When domesticated to bring it out into the open, you have to throw honey at it several times. But it is important not to be seen, otherwise it will avoid approaching, and once it is busy enjoying the honey, you have to approach it to give it sap, its favourite food. Unlike many other insects, it's used exclusively in warfare. The woody I'm struggling to say words today. Guys, please help. Even the easiest ones. Being able to climb any surface and float on water is mainly used for safe exploration. Its woody constitution. I think it's time that I get some rest. Has the advantage of making it immune to bee stings, which allows it to carry a hive on itself, thus being protected by the colony. What was most surprising was to discover that if it is fed enough, its secret... yeah, so this is very cool. I was a big fan of this before, and apparently, by the looks of things, this is the bog biome, the oceanic biome, the volcanic biome, and the Arctic biome of it. So it seems to be doing very well again. And in final place, again, still all to change. This is just when I've been checking up on the top 10. This is the Tully Monstrum, the Lunar Magnetic Scout. Very cool photo and artwork there. All art by ZCI yet again. So let's read through the wild and domesticated. So the Tully Monstrum is a bizarre creature found strangely levitating around the simulation's lunar biome. Inhabiting near the huge gas vents, waiting for prey to walk into it and suffocate so they can pick them out with a strong trunk. It seems to me that this lunar biome brings the Earth's creatures back to life, always with a twist. For example, it seems that the Tully Monstrum has learnt how to use its gravitational forces to pull itself forward towards prey to throw small creatures around. When domesticated, I've heard about tribes being able to get their own Tully Monstrums through luring them into vulnerable position by leaving some of the ambergris around and then riding them whenever possible. They say after riding them and trying not to fall off, they eventually calm down and subdue. This creature works miracles as a support mount, being a great scout while still being different from any other creepy critters that cover the role in this simulation. So guys, that is your full creature top 10 submissions as we speak right now. But there are so many more. And over the next 10 days, we're going to be giving lots of love to people that have put so much time into this. And I really, really, really look forward to seeing more. Leave a like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. And see you guys later.